2. Welcome back to
Welcome back,
Operation
guys.
Hustle.
We are happy to have you back here on Operation Hustle. Like I was just explaining to everybody on Insta, watching us live, today will be our last episode on technology. We are going to talk about drones and cameras. We're going to talk about our trip to Ginny Springs, the camping trip that we just took, and about the drone
epic.
video work that Justin did. And so after this, future episodes, we are going to try to get back to the health and fitness industry and new stuff that we're interested in that industry as of right now. But today will be the last episode on this. So, Justin, why don't you kind of take us back to relive Ginny Springs moment, kind of talk about cameras, old cameras and new cameras.
All right, so when it comes to Ginny Springs, which is a local spring in the northern Florida area.
For those Insta.
Talk what?
Talk a little bit louder so Insta friends can hear ya.
Insta, if you want to hear me, go on YouTube and watch the mic feed.
Okay. Anyway,
so we went to Ginny Springs over the weekend. It is it's in the northern part of Florida, right outside of Gainesville. And there's a river that feeds into, I think it's like 3 or 4 different springs.
3 springs. I thought it was 4, but it's 3 springs because you remember, you got the ballroom, the grand ballroom, and then the 2 mini ones.
Yeah. And this water is epic. It's literally just that blue, like extraordinary blue that you will never see in real life unless you go to like one of these springs. You'll see it in movies and stuff like that, and you don't think it's real, but it is. I'm going to pull up a video right now to kind of show you guys.
It's literally like being in
how
a
cool
real-life Naturegram Instagram reel. It is sick.
I have the DJI Mini 3 Pro, and I've just upgraded that from the Mavic Air 1, and this camera is fucking incredible. I'm going to go ahead and play this video for you guys now. You can see what this thing can really do.
I'll take the Insta friends on the journey. Insta friends, I will turn the camera around so that way you can see this drone video footage. Ooh, my hair's a mess.
Yeah, this footage is insane. So this thing shoots in 4K 60, which is 60 frames per second, so you could throw it in slow motion. But the quality on this thing is insane, and the drone itself is only 249 grams, so it makes it acceptable in most countries. And apparently you don't need to like register the drone in order to fly it.
Like I said, guys, it's like being in a real life Naturegram, this place. And again, for those of you who are watching that are out of state or maybe out of country, what we are looking at right now is a video of the Digi Pro. Oh, can you go back to it, Justin? So that was the Digi 3?
The DJI 3.
DJI 3 mini drone.
DJI Mini 3 Pro
Mini
is what it's
3
called.
Pro drone. And what we are looking at here, nature-wise, this is a spring here, natural spring in Florida. Absolutely beautiful, guys. So we went camping here. This is called Ginny Springs. So Florida is filled with a lot of these really beautiful places, natural springs. A lot of people don't know about this, including a lot of us Floridians that live here. A lot of hidden gems, people. But so again, Ginny Springs is a river that feeds into 3 different mini keyhole springs. And so that is that river that it feeds into, what is really cool about this river, and I'll explain this. So when you're swimming in it, you look down at your skin, and it looks like you're like swimming in a huge pool of red water. And what makes that water red, replay it for me, is that the nutrients at the bottom of the river reflect off the sun and make it all red looking. Fog, that was sick. That was actually real life fog over the top of the springs there in the morning when we were having our morning coffee. And then the springs itself, do you have any videos of those?
Yeah, they're on here. They're all on here.
Super blue.
We just played it 4 times
clear.
for it. There's a spring right there. You can see the stairway leading into
There
the
it
spring.
is.
There's a
Look
couple
at that
people
spring.
swimming down
Sick.
there. It's absolutely epic. If you guys have not ever gone to the any natural spring, I would highly suggest
our camping
it.
site.
If you're in the northern Florida area, a lot of them are like middle of Florida and the northern part of Florida. But there's a lot of different springs you can go to. This is just one of the really cool ones, Ginny Springs.
Do you have another one of it?
I'm just going to keep playing the same one over and over because I don't care.
Anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you the close-up of those back to...
But yeah, so as you guys can see, this drone is freaking tiny. It's about a little bit bigger than the size of your hand, right? And these batteries are only 249 grams, the whole thing total. So like I said, you don't really have to register it, and you can fly it in most places. The coolest part about this drone is actually this controller. It has a screen built in, and all the other controllers up to this point were you had to hook your phone up to it. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. This thing makes it really easy to use, and I would say like almost anybody can fly it. I had Abby fly it once for a little bit, and she did fine.
I mean, it is scary because I was really worried I was going to ruin the drone. I'm not going to
break
lie.
it.
But I would like to tell a funny story in between talking about technology about the river. River was super fun. One really awkward, funny moment that happened during this camping trip. So me, Justin, shout out to my friend Arthur.
Hey,
shout out to
Money.
Alejandro and Phil who are not here, but we were all going down the river. We look to the side. We see some friendly, nice people smiling at us. At least we thought they were smiling at us. And I go to wave at the one girl who's smiling, and she proceeds to tell me, "Quit staring at me in my bathroom." And she was dead serious, people. She was calling the river her bathroom.
Dumping and pissing in the fucking river while we're all floating by, and she was like angry that we were floating.
Yeah, exactly. Negative goblins, people. Negative goblins. So anyways.
There's some animals over at Jenny Springs.
Right? So anyways, that was funny. Really awkward. The river is not your bathroom. And just a heads up, people, if you are using the river or the ocean as your bathroom, do not proceed to stare at someone while you're doing it and then tell them to quit staring at you in your bathroom. Just wade around. Wade meaning W-A-D-E. Swim around and do what everybody else does. Don't actually admit you're peeing in the fucking water we're swimming in. Thank you. Back to the cameras.
So we're talking a little bit about the drones. I'm trying to get, I think for Christmas this year, what I'm going to do is get the first-person visual. So it's basically goggles you wear would be the screen. So I will no longer need this. And my eyeballs are the drone. So you fly that thing with a manual remote, and you have full control, like absolute full control over the drone. And you see what the drone sees. So you can technically fly it really through like anything because you have that. Basically, it's the time that you're filming and the time that you're flying is it's on point. So you're never missing a beat. So you can fly through and fly like you're in the fucking drone, which is pretty cool. Ab, that's for Christmas and my birthday most likely.
Oh, okay.
So
I got
that
a birthday
footage
in here.
is going to be a lot different than the footage you're seeing now because it flies differently. It looks like a mini airplane is flying, and it's really cool.
I'm not going to lie. As soon as I saw one video of the first-person drone footage on, I was looking at Naturegram Reels. Love it. So if you're ever looking for peace and serenity, instead of looking and comparing yourself to others, go onto the popular page and search for some Naturegram Reels. Anyways, I did that. And I was watching this super cool first-person drone footage of some guy in some sort of Egypt structure, right? Like it wasn't it was a temple, I think. And anyways, it was raw. So then I said to Justin, you know what? All right, I could see why you want that first-person drone. I kind of want it too.
Yeah, it makes flying more fun too. From all the videos I've watched, all the research I've done, because you become the drone. So instead of just looking at the screen flying it, which is also really cool. You get a weird feeling of almost like a roller coaster. They kind of explain it where it's super exciting. You're nervous. You feel like you could crash into something, which you definitely can. And it's not really cheap to fix, but it's all part of the fucking drone life. If anybody flies drones, you should know it's not cheap to have a drone. But now they've made it a lot easier for people to fly these things because I just learned from the internet how to fly this
How
shit.
do we go from this crazy, and I'm going to show it real up close in the camera. How do we go from this crazy old camera to that drone, right? I'm going to hold the drone up real close to the camera so you guys can see. And this is the DJI.
She's showing Instagram, not the normal podcast, so none of you can fucking hear what she's saying. So awesome.
I don't know how we went from this camera to this drone. It's insane. It's like the technology has just boomed, to think that even when I went to Nature's Classroom, that was in 6th and 7th grade. I think it was 6th grade, right? 6th grade, I believe. like we were using disposable cameras. Like I just remember this one particular moment during that trip in 6th grade where I got to go to this, because you pick different groups that you're interested in. I got to dissect a bat, and I was like, oh yeah, sick, I'm gonna get photos of this with my disposable camera. You know, I was that weird girl. Anyways, so I couldn't wait to, expose my film and figure out what I took pictures of and how good they came out. And now we take a picture on our iPhone and we instantly see it, and we're like flapping through to see what's perfect. And another small story about the, camping trip that kind of made me a little sad, which is we've gotten to the point where we're like, and not to say I'm not a person that takes photos of myself or likes to have photos taken of me.
Always.
But anyway.
And I'm the photographer.
Right.
And
anyway,
the videographer.
It is different when you are asking your child to take a photo of you that is sexy. Really odd. And so now you're hearing the perspective of someone watching you. It's really weird and inappropriate. So please just know this. This is what other people are thinking when they see you doing that. I'm in the river. I look over. I see this 4 or 5-year-old little boy who looks sad, wants to swim in the river. And instead, he's taking pictures of his mom who's lifting up her swimsuit cover so she can show her thong bikini to her kid, and then doesn't even acknowledge him. As soon as she sees the phone, she starts flipping through the pictures to make sure it's a perfect photo that her 4-year-old son made of her. I mean, absolutely wild. Weird, inappropriate, disgusting.
Yeah. Maybe go swimming with your fucking kid and enjoy the nature.
Right.
Instead of being like a succubus phone user, making
succubus
him take
phone user
pictures of you in nature. It's really stupid.
It is. So, anyways.
I don't know. I've seen a little
perspective
shift myself, in just how no one can put the phone down, and I am part of that. I also take a lot of videos. I'm always taking photos, and there is some times when you gotta set it down and just enjoy the environment.
Absolutely. During that trip, all of you guys listening here on Instagram, I set my phone down, and I only think I picked it up a few times. And for one, the river...
And there's no service out there.
I was just going to say, the river will take it from you because there is really no service in that area anyways, which was kind of awesome because then it's honestly like a relief. I know we all would feel like we're going to panic if we don't have it, but a few hours goes by without it, and I promise you, it is like sobriety. You get better and better.
The vision becomes clear.
The clarity is real.
You have no buzzing and annoyance at all times. And it's really nice to just disconnect and not have the connection or service. The service alone, just not having it is an excuse for me not to answer you. So if you feel offended, I don't care.
If you feel offended, just know I am living my best life peacefully without the phone.
So this is all iPhone footage at Weeki Watchy because my basically my GoPro had died, and so I just used my iPhone, which is great. That's the
really
glory
cool
of it.
Spring. That's me and my sister.
No.
Hello.
This was Weeki Watchy. Definitely worth going and checking out, guys.
Weeki Watchy, super sick. Look at that water, guys. Oh my god.
Yeah, Weeki Watchy's epic. They have rules there, but
Apollo Beach,
we kind of don't
another
follow
drone
rules most of the time.
video. So again, just showing you guys
more
kind of
droney.
What this drone can do. For my twin brothers, I would love for them to get a drone because they drift cars.
Yeah,
and I can only imagine the type of sick footage you get ripping it.
Yeah, so we went from, like Abby was saying, we went from this. This is a Polaroid camera, and it actually works. We're going to take a picture in a second here. We'll take a real old-school selfie, and we'll show you how dog shit the actual fucking film produces. But this is what we used to use, guys. This is what we would walk around with and fucking take pictures of each other with or yourselves.
Show them the frontal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then this thing on top is a big flash. So we're going to turn that on, and we're going to go ahead and take a selfie here, I think, in a second. What do you think? Do you want to watch?
Do you want to see us take a selfie?
All right, let's take the selfie.
Justin, take your selfie of yourself. I'll watch.
All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1. Old school selfie
All right, you
mode.
ready? Oh, it's adjusting.
Oh, it's adjusting. What's it doing?
I don't know. It might not be working.
Oh, wait, there it goes.
Something's happening.
Something's happening.
Something's winding up. I
To think
hear
that we used to have
it.
to do this, right? Like, you'd have to sit there as a kid and wait for your mom or dad to get the camera ready
Is there a
for like
different-
10 fucking minutes.
Oh, I think it might have broke.
Oh!
Whoa! There it is, guys.
There it is, guys.
Look at it. It's
Anybody-
magic.
wait.
It goes from nothing to something.
Does anybody remember doing this? Hoo-ha! Shake that
Here we
photo.
go.
Shake. Isn't there like an Outkast song about this?
Shake it like a Polaroid
Yeah,
picture.
shake it like a Polaroid picture.
All right, we're gonna take one of Ab. Ab, sit down. Put the fucking stupid phone away.
All right, hold on. I need to
Get
get
the
my
fucking
selfie,
phone
people.
out of your hand.
I need to get my selfie.
All right, fact. We'll
Hold on.
see. So like this film that I got is from Amazon. It's not the greatest, but it obviously you see it works, right? And it's kind of developing a little bit. I think I got a little too close. I got too
Try to wave
close.
to people.
You
Hello,
can start to
hello,
see
hello,
like a
hello.
little bit of my head outline, and it'll come through more and more as we sit
Hold
here
on.
and wait.
Take my photo.
All right, we're gonna get one of Ab. I'm gonna go ahead and actually take this like a photographer with.
All right, I'm posing, guys.
We'll line it up. We'll get a little light in the background. Ooh, snap. Boom. Just like that, baby.
Let's see how ugly I came out.
Pretty
Hello.
cool. We'll see. Sometimes, like, the one picture we took didn't really develop too well. Like, this one's not really coming in that well. The film, I think, is just not the greatest.
Listen,
So,
low quality, good times.
but I did get this camera from an antique shop, and it literally didn't even say it was working. So I just bought some film and threw it in there, and it works.
Oh, mine's developing.
Oh.
Listen, when it fully develops, I'll
Shake
show
it,
you.
baby.
Shake it like
Shake
a Polaroid
it.
picture.
But it is cool just to have like an ancient piece of technology.
Ancient pizza?
Ancient pizza is cool
Oh.
too. Sounds pretty good. Ancient pepperoni. But yeah, so I didn't even know this thing worked, and I had to like Google how to like open everything because I still didn't really know how to even put the film
You
in.
didn't Google that.
So it's kind of cool to have. I mean, the pictures come out like absolute dog shit, but it works.
Yeah.
Like this isn't. I don't know. This
Mine's
one's probably
already
not.
starting to get damaged right here in
Yeah,
the corner.
hers is coming in better than mine.
Update, people.
I
I'm
guess
seeing a slight shadow of myself.
selfie mode's not the greatest, I guess.
Selfie mode's not
on the
that great,
Polaroid.
people.
But you kind of get the idea of like where we came from. These guys here, these fucking
Right,
big
and how long?
ass
Like
cameras.
what? A matter of like literally 50 years or less than that.
To this thing. This thing flies around 4K. It's pretty much silent. And it's crazy that this is where we came from. This to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if no one has ever flown a drone, I highly suggest you try because it's a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, especially like I said. I mean, this isn't just for like water sports. This isn't just for like fitness people. Like, yo, if you are a car person, this ish is for you. Get a
Yeah.
fucking drone, start flying it, start getting some sick footage.
And
right?
not only the video,
Not
the,
even just
the
your
pictures.
Yeah,
The
not even
pictures
just
are
your
dope.
car. For kids, gosh, you know how
Yep.
cool it'd be to like literally have so many recordings of you and your kids, like actual like really cool moments you want to cherish that they can play when you're gone. I mean, to think that like, and this is just sad for a moment, but it's okay. You know, my parents are gone now, and like I have a small box of some photos that were saved because they didn't really use their cell phones. They weren't really all about technology, as we all know. It gets harder and harder for the older generations to keep up as we start advancing so fast. And it's just sad because I have to kind of try to use my mind and my memory to go back and hold on to memories. But now you all have the opportunity to get one of these drones and really be able to get the full perspective, you know, in the first person perspective, or your kids do, of you. You know what I mean? Like Justin and I were just talking about this yesterday, and like, you know, all the videos that we have of each other, like on these trips, like our kids are really, or child, because I really only want one.
One
but
children.
One children will really get that perspective of like our love, our relationship, like what that looks like through videos, right?
Yeah.
So it's like telling a story. And so that's what I really, really do like about the fact that we have access to these drones now. And they're not just for like, you know, government officials and such. Like we have the opportunity as just regular civilians to be able to have these cherishable moments. So really
Yeah.
cool.
But do be careful flying them. You can definitely hurt someone. You can easily lose one, and you can also get fined. So like there's certain areas where they don't want you to fly them. I would suggest you probably don't fly them in the area. Do we break rules? Of course we do. Just be careful of what you're filming, who you're filming. You will get some what they would call, I guess now, Karens beating you up over flying your fucking drone. So the cool thing about this one is it's so quiet. It really doesn't draw a lot of attention. My other one, I've been yelled at a few different times by a few different people for flying it. They think I'm spying on them, which I'm not, because no one fucking cares what you're doing. But people get really weird about the drones, and it's mostly, I would say, like 40 and above.
All right,
age
guys,
range.
update on our selfies.
So I think what happened is we took it with the flash, and we shouldn't have. So I'm going to take another one without
All
a
right.
see if it works better.
All right. Get
So
another one. Get my
here we
photo.
go. Here's Abby's photo. Let's see.
Here, I'll do the bow pose.
Actually, go over there when I get that light in the background. Might get look kind of cool.
Or I'll do peace.
With the mic. You ready?
How many snaps does it take?
It's not. It's like. It's weird because this button is very touchy.
Come on, I'm losing my strength here.
See, this is how a selfie used to go. Wait, hold the pose. Hold the
Hold the pose
pose.
for 10 minutes.
Let me take this off and see if that changes
Jeez.
anything.
All right,
no,
I'll
it
show
didn't
you.
work. Hold up. I need that picture.
Hold
I need
on.
that dang picture.
Mine's starting to develop. I want to show them my progress. Oh, all right, guys. So
There we go.
I'm about to show you the
Boom. I think this
Hold
one
on.
might come out better,
Oh
but
my
we'll
God,
see.
my hair is a mess.
This film's already a little fucked on the edge.
All right, here we go. Here's the progress. Hold on a second.
There ain't no progress. Looks like dog shit.
These are the old cameras, guys.
Here we go. I'm gonna take a selfie.
Barely any progress.
Ready? We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Anthony.
Like I said, I think the film that I got was not the greatest because it was just like from Amazon and it was just like buy this and it will work.
Right.
We did get a few pictures though. What was it last week? A couple weeks ago that actually came out decent.
Decent.
You could see them, but also the people that had these cameras, like I showed them the pictures and like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty much what you're gonna get. A piece of dog shit that you can barely even see. That's me. And you can just see the outline.
And you can see Ghost Me.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though. It's vintage as they would call it.
Yeah, vintage.
Let's see. This one's coming in a little bit more. Yeah, you could see I got an outline on my face here. Ain't too bad.
Oh, a little bit more of Ghost Me is coming in.
It's just kind of cool to have though. Like pull this fucking camera out and take some pictures.
I
And
can't
see
wait
what
to show
happens.
my child this. Hey, look what people
Yeah.
used to take photos with. Because it always cracks me up when Justin and I get like younger clients. For all you 90s kids, shout out to the 90s. But I love it when we get those kids that have been born in like the late 2000s, right? And like we play music in the gym and like some old 90s music comes on and like I had a girl yesterday tell me she doesn't even know who Nelly is. I'm like,
Ooh,
Nelly,
get that
you don't know who
Band-Aid.
Nelly is? No hot in here. Like,
Unfortunately.
yeah.
Where's
She
that?
didn't even know that Nelly used to be a whole band, not just the one guy with the Band-Aid on his face.
Is it the original one? Or
This
is
is
it
the
second
original one of me. It's starting to come in, guys. It's getting more developed.
Where's that other one? Oh yeah, this one's gonna come in better. I can see your
hey-ho.
face already.
Look at that. My
See it?
face is coming through.
Yeah,
Ghost
this
me.
this one will be the best one because we had that little light in the back. I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about camping? Just because I wanted to touch on that since we're already talking about the camping trip.
Yeah.
So we become camping people, guys. We are now those people. And why? And if you've ever known me at one point in your life, you probably would never, ever guess that I would be a camper.
Abby was
okay?
not a camper. I've
Even my-
converted her
Even my family was surprised.
into a
but-
trailer park.
Trailer park girls. Anyways, so I love camping. It's so much fun. I probably honestly could not maybe do more than 4 days. I do like to really have my luxury
2
cleanliness.
nights in the
but
woods is good. I think 3 would be fine. I think that 4th night would get a little much.
So,
Smelly.
I want to tell
stinky,
this story about the camping trip.
Hungry.
So, for any clients who have heard this, sorry, I am repeating it. I know I've told this story all this week. But anyway, anybody not listening, Justin and I have experienced our first really rained out camping trip. So we were with our friend Arthur. It was me, Justin, Arthur the first night. Everybody else was going to be joining us the second night. We went Friday and Saturday night, left Sunday. Anywho, we get there, we set up the tent. We got a fire going because my boy Arthur had it going already.
Hey, money.
And all of a sudden it starts dumping. I mean, dumping, raining, and the little camp spot that we had was not the old spot because people got there before us. It's first come, first serve here in Florida campground. I don't know what it's like everywhere else. But so the people next to us took our old camp spot that we went to last time with our friends where their trees were real close together so you could put the tarps and make a nice little rained out tarp hangout area. Well, we didn't have trees that were close to each other. So we made a makeshift hangout area, which really didn't work. So we put a tarp over the trunk door of the HRV and over the top of our tent. Now it's dumping really bad. Now me and Justin and Arthur are holding up umbrellas like this underneath the tarp. It was horrible.
We made it.
It's thundering, lightning. I'm sitting here thinking, like, if I get struck right now with this metal pole in my hand, I'm holding up to the sky, you know what? If this is how I die, I'm in a beautiful place. It's okay.
Fuck it.
But anyways, so we end up staying. There was a small part of bougie me that was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then I was
I know. I looked over at her and I was just like, "Fuck, she's gonna make me pack all this shit up and get the fuck out of here."
that was the moment that Justin fell in love with me.
And she's like, "I was like, are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And we stayed.
I wanted
We
to
slept
leave
in the
really
tent.
badly.
We never got wet. Thank you, Coleman Tent.
Yep.
Or the
Shout out to
fucking
Coleman.
camping utensils that they make. They make a bunch of shit. We have a grill from them. It's really dope. It folds up.
Coffee
fits
pot.
in the head. We have a coffee pot from them. Really
Sick.
good products. They have mixed reviews online, but all the products that I've bought were pretty good. They've all held up so far. I haven't like used and abused them, but we used them. The tent was really nice. It was like $100.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking, they consider it a 4-person tent.
It's really a 2-person, people. Once you put your mattress in there, it's only meant
You
for
put
2.
a queen mattress in that bitch, you ain't fitting nothing else in there.
That's it. Just
It
in a
is nice
mattress.
though. I'll tell you, it's luxury.
It is.
And then also when it comes to camping, I have a solar generator. Basically, it's like a big battery, and you hook a solar panel up to it. So we had power all weekend. It has a normal like outlet plug you can plug into, so it's pretty cool to go out there and still have power and power your stupid fucking devices. So like, if I needed to charge the drone, I can charge the drone. We got to charge a phone or two. We can charge a
All
phone
right, guys.
or two.
Small update in between talking. Pictures
Ooh.
are coming through.
What do we got?
And in about 5 more minutes, we'll show you the end
5
results.
more minutes.
5 more minutes.
So
We're
yeah,
waiting
this
on
is
it.
this is what you used to have to do back in the day. You would take the picture and you'd have to wait until it either developed or you'd have to bring it somewhere to develop. And as you can see, they don't develop that well.
Nope.
Like this one, I'm like non-existent, but it's there. You can see my outline of my head. That's
I'll
about
show
it.
Insta the
But
progress.
Abby's are coming in better. Like you can see hers
Coming
a
in
lot
a
better
little
than
better,
you can see
people.
mine. I don't know if the
Ooh,
lighting is
goes
just
Gabby.
different or something.
Oh,
But the one is actually pretty good. You can start to see her face a little bit.
Ghost
There you go.
Abby is coming through.
Yeah, that's Ghost Abby and then Real Abby. 1987 Abby.
So anyway, back to camping. I highly suggest it. Even if you are somebody that you think you're probably not a camp person, I think that we live in a world now where we're so fast paced, and we're always connected to an electronic that it's like, all right, ask yourself this: when is the last time that you just like, I don't know, looked up at the sky and enjoyed the fact that you even get to live on this planet? Probably never lately, all right, because you're depressed, you're busy, you got tons of responsibilities. Maybe you're a parent, you're walking in the house, kids are screaming. Wife or husband needs you. They need a break. Here, you take the kid. You barely get any time just to realize that, hey, we get to inhabit this planet. Not, we own this planet. We get to inhabit it. Like, that's amazing. Like, we get to have that opportunity.
Unfortunately, we destroy it every day
Right.
with
but
our water bottles and all our bullshit.
when you camp, you become more minimalistic. And that's kind of like what you learn when you camp is like, wow, it's the small things in life that really bring me joy. And so it kind of helps you, especially as a couple, to take a step back and really realize that quality time is super important with your spouses or your partners, because it just helps you to really appreciate the relationship that you have with them. And if you don't, right, like there's plenty of people out there that are married, that are coupled together, that maybe have just gotten in the groove of things that they haven't even realized that they've grown apart.
Yeah,
and I think that
100%.
that happens to a lot of people, and Justin and I hear
think
about
especially
this
with
all
the
the time.
phones too. Like the
Yeah.
phones, I feel like disconnect you from your partner so much that you don't even realize it. Like last night, I was on my phone way too much, and Abby's watching TV, and I'm over here scrolling, making videos, doing all this bullshit, and it's almost like, unfortunately, it's like ignoring the other person, non-intentionally.
Yeah.
I wasn't intentionally ignoring you. I was doing a couple things, and
Now-
then a couple things turned into a couple hours, and a couple hours turned into fucking the rest of your life.
Listen, it
Goodbye.
can be a bad thing, I'm sure, right? To like realize this one thing, right? That, hey, I've been ignoring my partner a long time, but with my phone and whatever else in life. But here's one of two things that are going to happen when you do this. One is you're going to realize and cherish the person that you're in a relationship with or that you're married to, right? And so it's going to give you that appreciation for them, and you're going to go back home and you're going to, it's like re-falling in love with your partner again, and you're going to really just look at the person, have one of those moments before you go to bed like, wow, I get to lay next to this person. I get to wake up to this person. Or it may do the opposite for you. And there are plenty of people out there that are in relationships or that are married that have grown apart, and maybe you guys are no longer in the same spots in your life together, and maybe it actually helps you move forward in a different direction. That's okay too. But for the most part, it really does help give you overall clarity is what we're talking about.
Yeah. And if
Clarity
you want to
and
figure out
consciousness.
what your girl really looks like, bring her camping. Bring her right to the campgrounds. There ain't no showers over there. They can't really put makeup on. You get the true view of what you might be in for, right?
Do you love the true Abby?
I have no
the true
choice now,
Abigail.
but yes, of course I do. But for real, like, honestly, if you want a true opinion about someone, bring them out into the wilderness and see how they adapt.
Yeah, because if
to
they
be
act like
honest.
a total bitch, now you really know what they're like.
Imagine now you have your future power outage already solved. Like, oh, this lady's getting a little bitchy already, and we're only 10 minutes in with no phone.
Well, it's not even just that. It's like, does this person even really love me, or do they just like the idea of me, right? Like I
Yeah.
said, it could give you clarity on your relationship if you're someone that was already kind of like contemplating it to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Like in the sense of, does this person even really enjoy spending time with me?
Yeah.
Or do they really just, or have they really just gotten more comfortable with my presence?
Yeah, it's more of like a comfort thing, like you said.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're just there, and you're distracted 90% of your time on your phone or doing something else or
Yeah.
at work, and you don't really realize like who you're with.
Yeah.
So when you're camping and you don't have cell phone service, you know, you can actually have a real conversation, talk to each other, maybe learn some things about each other, which is pretty cool. It also teaches you how to. I won't say survive in the wild because bare minimum
Yeah, definitely
survival.
we weren't making anything from scratch.
We
people.
were bougie camping
Bougie
or
camping,
glamping, whatever you want to call it. So, but it does show you like what we rely on the most is electricity, because without it, like, dude, I literally went like 2 days without taking a shower. Like, I was like jumping in the fucking river. I did take like a shower, but it wasn't like I normally do. I'll
Wasn't
take
your
2 to
nice
3 showers a day.
luxury shower where you get in there and you really get to scrub your head and
Yeah.
with shampoo and conditioner and you're in warm water and you're in there shaving and you're comfortable. It's like, all right, it's a campground shower. You now know what that looks like or
Get
sounds
in
like,
and
right?
out, or you will be diseased. How about that? That's what a campground shower looks like. And the porta potties, so we experienced last time camping the porta potties, and I literally bought my own porta potty to bring because of the experience from last time. And during this experience, this time, having my own shitter in the woods, it was great. But the other people that were camping with us, they did not have a shitter to themselves. And they walked into the porta potty. And there was
Diarrhea all over the floor.
diarrhea on the
I had
floor.
to say it.
And these suckers were walking
my
in there with no shoes on, which
Well,
I
not-
thought was very questionable.
Not our friends. But anyways, so
I
our one
seen-
friend
I
was
seen A-Money go in there with no shoes on. Sorry, A-Money.
Our one friend was like, kind of like talking to this girl, and we were trying to figure out what he was doing. So when he walked back, we're like, "What were you doing?" He was like, "Well, I was trying to save that girl from walking into diarrhea porta potty." So yeah, absolutely
Dookie.
gross. I mean, maybe somebody couldn't hold it, but that's the reality of what you're looking at. So if you can get yourself a little porta potty bucket like we had,
it's literally a bucket. You put a fucking trash bag in it. You take a dump or you take a piss in it. Whatever you got to do. I would suggest they'll throw in some cat litter in the bag as well, which we didn't do. And this is things you learn by camping. By the time the weekend was over, we cleaned out the bucket. It still had a little smell to it. It's pretty gross, even though you're not pissing into the actual bucket.
so bleach cleans it well.
Yeah, bleach works well, but I would definitely suggest putting some like kitty litter in there. But I would suggest if you go camping, buy your own toilet, because you will thank me for
Yeah.
not sitting in someone else's piss or shit.
And you get a privacy tent, and you put the privacy tent over it, right?
It depends
But-
on how secluded you are. But the privacy tent is nice because when there's a lot of people, you can just go in there and no one knows.
Right. You can change in there too. Take the bucket out, use it as a changing station
Yeah.
for quick in and out. Because where our campsite was right on the river, so that was super cool. Because we literally woke up and jumped right in the river. Woke up because there's a tube entrance with stairs down into the river, and had
Yeah.
our coffee on the
Here,
stairs.
it's right here. I'll show you one more time. Let's play this video. That's where we camped. Right. Oh, more rewind it a bit. So this is an idea of like, these were our campgrounds.
Yeah.
And the river, literally, like she was explaining, is right behind where we parked.
Everybody on Insta.
And there was a staircase to the right behind that my shitter. You could see it. There was a staircase back
privacy
there,
tent.
and you would just basically launch your paddle boards or your tubes, and you would float down the river into the springs. And it's an epic spot. Now, it is first come first serve when it's primitive camping. So to get that spot, our boy A-Money went there and held it down for us right away, which was cool. But if you don't get there on like a Friday morning, you're most likely going to get stuck with a not so great spot, but you'll still have access to everything else everybody else has. So it is a great spot to camp. We have only camped here twice, and I'm going to camp again here because it is amazing.
Love it, love it, love it. But see how we were like right on the river? So that was our camp spot,
Yeah.
and you could wake up and jump in the river.
Yeah, there's the stairs
and on
right there.
Yeah, it went
Yeah, it
so
was pretty
fast
cool.
I couldn't show you the stairs. But really cool because, like I said, you just wake up and you jump in. But also another thing, back to like getting to know your partner better.
No one can hear you on the mics right now, so wait to
on a
hold it
second.
in.
Hold on.
Hold your little tongue.
Okay.
Now you can speak.
So
Yes.
back to camping with your partner. Another thing I noticed is like when you don't have your devices, it really makes you realize whether or not you and your partner have anything fucking in common.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if you can't make any conversation and you fell in love with that person for the wrong reasons, sex, you had a child together, money, whatever it may be, that's not to say that can't be worked through. You can't build a relationship off of that. But if you don't have one built and it was built off the wrong reasons, you will realize that camping 100%.
Yeah.
Because you will either cherish your time together, and sometimes you just spend time together. You don't have to say anything. It's just nice, appreciating that, just on the float by yourself or with your partner, right? Or you're going to have some really deep quality conversations, right? Like, when's the last time you just asked your partner, like, hey, how are you doing? Not, hey, how was your day? How are you doing in general? Because, sometimes we're not okay, right? Like, sometimes, you get stressed out. You don't want to tell your partner that you feel really overwhelmed, or sometimes you feel like you don't want to wake up, because you've just been so overwhelmed with everything, all the responsibilities of work, life, children, stress, whatever it may be, grief, whatever it is that you're going through. It's hard to communicate that, but it gives you that time to really sit down with your partner and just ask, like, how are you?
Yeah, it definitely does. I think having that time away from the phone, away from civilization in general, gives you a better perspective of what we're really doing to this planet. Because during that trip, we were on that river, and on one side of the river, all the humans were allowed, and the other side of the river, no humans were allowed. And God, let me tell you how nice the other side looked compared to the human side. I mean, there was trash. There's fucking bottles everywhere. Yeah. Obviously, you have tents everywhere as well, which we clean up. But the amount of like water bottles and just shit that is left everywhere because of us, it's disgusting. And I'm part of it. I've done it before, unfortunately. But it makes you more conscious of like, maybe I shouldn't throw this water bottle out the window. Maybe I should put it in that blue recycling bin and not destroy our planet. Because every day we make it a little bit worse by putting all this shit into landfills and all this other garbage. So it kind of just opens your mind up to like, man, we got to stop really destroying this fucking planet, or we will be left with nothing.
Yeah, and just a lot of, I think what you realize too is just a lot of selfishness. If you really open your eyes and allow yourself to have the full camp experience, like I saw a couple people blowing through the river on their boats, on speedboats, that they're not allowed to do. I mean, if people were in that river swimming on their tubes, they would be murdered. They would literally be chopped up to tiny cottage cheese pieces based off of how fast these people were going in the river. I mean, people in general have gotten to a place right now in today's time where they have no regard for human life, and it's really scary.
Yeah, it's kind of just very selfish behavior and kind of just do whatever you want when you want.
Why?
Doesn't matter who it affects.
Like, honestly, I said this several times during the camp trip. It reminds me of, like, right now, life itself. Reminds me of, like, a moment from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when that spratty little girl's like, I want a blueberry and I want it now, Daddy. It's like we're all like that. I want the traffic light to go and I want it now, right? All that road rage people have. I want, to go fast on the river, and I'm going to do it now. Like, I mean, we're just so selfish and so inconsiderate of others, not just ourselves. Like, I mean, others as meaning, like, creatures, animals. Like, it's just not okay,
Yeah,
but
there was an instance, too, at the campsite. So we wake up. We're in the woods on a river, okay? We wake up 7 a.m., maybe.
It was like 7:30.
All of a sudden, our camp neighbor gets furious because we are awake in her wood section and we're being too loud. So she gets fucking super angry for no reason because we're awake and it's, we're in the woods and you have a tent. You don't have walls that are soundproof. And she was upset because we were being a little loud and in the morning in the middle of the woods, and she just like
Again, selfishness and
very
entitlement.
selfish, right? Like, yo, you're in a tent. Like, yes, you're gonna get woken up by a small noise. Now, if the bird flew by and made a fucking and woke you up, are you gonna go and yell at the bird? No, because you can't. Because
We
he doesn't
weren't
fucking
yelling.
care.
We were talking quietly, and this lady still wasn't having it. So it's like, listen.
But I will give her one thing. She got over herself, and she
Yeah.
did come over, and she didn't really apologize, but she did help
Now,
us set a tent
she
up.
didn't really come over and help us set up the tent until my boy Arthur called her out.
He did.
Right? Now, you have two options when people start acting crazy or they start saying crazy things. You can ignore it and not even feed into that energy, or you can address it, right? And this goes for anything, whether it's your partner, your husband, wife, it's friends, family, Joe Schmoes, right? I would say with road rage, don't address it because people have guns now. But anyways, in this particular situation, he had addressed it with her and said, listen, we are camping. Love thy neighbor. And as soon as he said, love thy neighbor, Arthur and I went to go get some stuff from the shop. I think we went to go get some toilet paper, came back, and we saw that the lady was helping Justin and Alejandro put Alejandro's tent up. And so sometimes it just takes a small reminder of someone saying it to you in a nice manner. Not a clap back, I'm going to snap, I'm going to be a bitch to that person, but in a nice manner, like, hey, love thy neighbor, because it helps remind you that, like, hey, we're all brothers and sisters here, right? Like, we don't have to be related by blood, but, like, just be a good human. Just be nice. Because being negative and being mean and being vindictive, vicious, right, resentful, all of those negative emotions, they don't change the situation. They don't help you, and they don't help the other.
Yeah, they definitely don't. When it comes to camping, I want to go a couple other places because we've only really checked out Jenny Springs in the tent.
Oh, yeah.
We've been a couple other spots where, like, we had an Airbnb kind of close
Next
to a
spot,
spring.
camping in Utah, people.
Well, that would be cool, but the problem with that is we'd either have to drive there or fly all our tent gear, which I'm not going to do. It's too
I know. I just want to so badly. And the Naturegram reels camping are just
Yeah.
insane. So if you haven't seen them, look at the Naturegram reels of Utah on the Explore page, and you are going to be just, like, in love with nature all over again. Like, seriously, Justin and I have been in a season of loving on nature, and it is, like we said, really changed our perspective, really changed our clarity, our consciousness, our love for one another, and has really just changed kind of, like, the way that we, like, appreciate our time off as well.
Yeah, and it gives you something to do other than, like, going to fucking the mall or, like, any other of these shithole places that you don't need to be in. Like, go explore your area. And Florida is amazing because we have so many beaches and springs and so much shit to do. But, like, there's other areas in this country that have beautiful spots that you're literally driving by every day.
Yeah.
So you can go and sit inside somewhere. Like, go out and explore. There's so much beautiful things on this planet, and we're literally just, like, overlooking them because of the digital universe that we belong to. And we're so infatuated with this that we can't really open our eyes to the real fucking world. Like, just floating down that river with no cell phone, no electronics, because there was a few floats that I made a point not to bring any camera, not to bring anything, and it was fantastic. I just enjoyed the time that I had in nature, and it felt really good. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't, like, worried about getting something on footage or worried about getting a text message or a call. I was just like, all I care about is, like, cooling off in this river and just taking in the beauty of it all.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of
Absolutely beautiful.
slows time down by being out there.
And we just watched a documentary too. Speaking on slowing down time, this is the last thing I'm going to speak on for today, is I am tapped out, guys. Brain power has been turned off all week long working. But anyways, so Justin just left, so it's on me. But talking about time slowing down, we watched a documentary right before we went camping that talked about how when you are in nature, that it is a scientific proven thing apparently, that time slows down and that most people cannot recall how many minutes, hours have gone by while in nature. And honestly, when I went camping, I found that to be very true. Like, I was like, oh, that must have been at least 2 hours. And it was like an hour, but it was awesome because, like, I wanted the trip to keep going, and it felt like it did. Like, when I came home, it felt like we just took a, 3 to 4 day vacation, and we really were only gone for 2 nights. And that's another thing, too, because time goes by so fast when you're just immersed in this fast-paced society. But when you remove yourself from that it really allows you to take in the time off that you need, because time seems like it's going slower. So that is kind of like all I have to speak on when it comes to camping, technology, time, quality of relationship, all of that, guys. But going forward, now that we're kind of back on our groove here at the podcast, because we've been just enjoying life, like I said, we're going to try to get more consistent, guys, with the podcast. Justin and I have been trying to just focus on more lifestyle content for you guys as well. So that you can see that we love fitness. That is our life. We live it. We breathe it. We
Gains,
sleep it.
baby,
Gains, baby. But at the same time, we live to love. We live to love one another, and we live to love spending time with one another. And we want to show you what that looks like, you guys, because, again, I think that relationships have become so toxic because of this fast-paced society where we are attached to electronics and not attached to one another anymore. So, again, health and lifestyle stuff, content coming to you guys through our podcast going forward.
All of our socials are down here in the corner. Check them out.
I'll just name them off since we're on Insta and you guys can't see what we are recording here on the cameras. But you can follow us on our Insta, absfitness_ Brandon, Florida, right? If you're already here live, go ahead and hit the follow button. If you're not already following, you can follow our second Instagram account, absfitness_ Brandon, Florida, number 2. You can follow our trainers. You got PD Elevate. You got Trainer Torres. Those are our 2 trainers here that work over at Abs Fitness. Yep. You can follow Abs Fitness on Facebook, Abs Fitness LLC. You can follow us on YouTube for way more content, lifestyle, fitness, beach stuff galore. And that is Abs Fitness Film House on YouTube. And then TikTok, which we haven't really been on much, but that was
Abs Fitness Tampa, Florida.
Abs Fitness Tampa, Florida. Tons of free workout videos on there. So men, if you're looking out for some free workout videos, Abs Fitness Tampa, Florida, TikTok-y.
Yo, guys, just going to shoot this out to you where we may do this. I'm trying to have this work. If you are interested in making extra money, I'm going to pay people to share our content. I have to come up with a price point and a plan, but basically the gist of it will be affiliate marketing, basically. And if you share a certain reel a certain amount of times, I send you money. That sounds perfect. All you have to do is click a few fucking buttons and you share our shit. I must have
accidentally hit a filter because you have a little black heart on your
Ooh, look at me. I'm like a prisoner with my little black teardrop. But anyway, it's just an idea, guys. If you are interested, let us know because I'd really like to grow our reels, which we've been doing really good with. We have multiple videos with like 300, 400,000 views. Let's try to get those suckers to 1 million, bro. And let's try to make the internet aware of our presence. Other than that, dude, we'll catch you guys next week. Operation Hustle. Yes.
Bye.